right, can you hear me all right?
Perfect. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good. I'm testing out this new mic I got, so we're gonna see how it
Nice.
works. So I'll just walk it through how it works a little bit. I'll tell you a little bit about like my background and what I'm doing kind of right now. So, my name's Ryan Shopper, obviously. Just graduated from the University of Kansas.
Yeah.
I was in our development office for about 2 years. First working as a game day staff employee, kind of greeting donors and doing all that stuff on game days, and then getting to be the development intern, which there was only one, or there was two of us. Getting to do that for a full semester as my senior year kind of wrapped up, and this past spring. I kind of wanted to capitalize on like when I was there and like all the memories and stuff I've learned and continue this process. And I've recently just accepted a job to go back to KU in our ticketing office.
Oh,
So
great. There you go.
yeah, yeah. So
Awesome.
ticketing and fundraising is obviously a similar path to you, but
Right.
yeah, I just accepted and I start late August, so I'm pumped up for that. But in the meantime of me graduating and to this point on, I was like, how can I connect with others in the industry, and how do I not like I don't want to be like just doing this to, oh, I have this many connections, but it's like a genuine, like, I want to connect with others and see how they got to where they are, and just any advice that I can take. And posting these, I just want other people as well to kind of see, kind of maybe in my position or still in college, like seeing if they want to go the college sports route, like, just that free advice that you'd get from like a professional like you. Or I've had, I don't know if you saw, but I've had a lot of associate athletic directors, and I just interviewed a couple recruiters for a couple schools for football and basketball. So kind of getting all the angles of college sports, and not just through revenue or obviously you are, but not just through that avenue. Trying to get all aspects of college sports, and so this has kind of just been a passion project, and kind of just leaning into it these last couple months.
Yeah, no, it's been awesome. So, I mean, I obviously saw it when you posted about, Scott piece and when you put it out there,
Mhm.
and I'm like, oh man, that's really awesome. And then
Yeah,
that's when I messaged you, and I'm like, hey, keep it up. It's always great to me,
yeah.
me, me personally. I did the same thing as when I was trying to get into the industry and really did a lot of informational interviews,
Hmm.
not over podcasts or anything like this, but really
Yeah,
just trying to reach out to as many athletic directors as possible, or executive team individuals, and just said, what, how can I get my foot in the door? What can I do to really try to pursue my career in college sports, right? And so
yeah.
that's how I did it, and I
Hmm.
bounced around a lot, and got a lot of great experience with a lot of internships, and
Yeah.
finally was able to break into it, and had experience, and really moved to the ladder from there.
Yeah, so what's that like, kind of just reaching out? Obviously you said it through a different way, but
Yeah.
reaching out, you want it to be authentic and organic, and you don't just want to be like, hey, I'm just reaching out to network or like to make another connection online. But how did you kind of do that organically and all that?
Absolutely, yeah. So I basically, this was back in 2010, 2011. I went through LinkedIn, I did emails, and really just introduced myself, and also was like, hey, what can I do? Also had some in-person informational
Yeah,
internships or informational interviews as well, and said, what can I do to really get my foot in the door and really pursue this career in college sports? They said
yeah,
my personality fits the best with external ticket sales, development, things like that. And so I basically I followed that path, followed that advice that the individuals have the individuals gave me, and
mhm,
was able to take any kind of opportunity that was in front of me. Right? I was, how my career started is I was in college sports via men's basketball
mhm,
through at the University of Memphis under with Coach Pastner, who's now at UNLV. And
yeah,
I knew I didn't want to be a head coach one day, but I wanted to tailor my managerial skills more towards development, fundraising, working with donors, and eventually having that as my career. Right, so he was able to do that for me. which then opened the door to the development office as well at Memphis.
Yeah.
And so then that's where I finished my internship for my studies at the University of Memphis, which then opened the door to going out to Cal State Bakersfield, and then to have, where I am today here at the University of Evansville. So
Yeah, no, cool. It seems, kind of researching you before this, I was like, this is very similar to my path, and
yeah,
in a sense that you were in development, started as a development assistant, a development intern, basically kind of the same things and stuff, but and then kind of taking that leap into ticketing, which I'm just about to do. So, yeah, if you wanna kind of go back into that start of your career, kind of break it down how like you said at Memphis, and then kind of going forward.
absolutely. Yeah. So I was actually, before that, I went to my freshman year, I was at Lynn University in Boca Raton, Florida. It's this
Mhm.
small D2 school in the Sunshine State Conference, and became the head manager there. Obviously, did any kind of operational stuff when it comes to basketball. And then, as sort of went through the year, had the opportunity to go back home and would go to the University of Memphis. Was a manager for the University of Memphis men's basketball team, again under Coach Pastner. And then I knew that I didn't want to be a head coach or get into the coaching world, but the connections were very, very important, right? So I connected with a lot of the coaches that were there, had a lot of advice, received a lot of advice, and then went from there to wanted to be into fundraising, development, ticket sales, revenue generation, so on and so forth, right? And
Yeah.
how my obviously Coach Pastner, allowed my managerial skills to be able to work with our donors, individuals that came to practice, private practices, anything that had to do with a donor. I was able to do that throughout my years as a manager, and then from there, that opened the door to work with the Tiger Scholarship Fund there at Memphis as I finished out my undergraduate career. And then from there, I then went to Cal State Bakersfield, who I work with the current AD that's here at the University of Memphis, Dr. Ziggy Siegfried,
Yeah.
who's my mentor and teaching me every single day to become a Division I athletic director. So I'm blessed and I'm humbled to be able to be working with him every single day. I've been working with him for about 12 years now,
Wow.
and blessed every day to be able to come into work today and to work for an awesome person as he is.
Yeah.
It's exciting. It's exciting, and just really learn a lot. I learn every day, um, and so yeah. So that's keep my head down and grind, and
Yeah.
really take anything that comes along, and just be able to know and to help the future of individuals wanting to get into the industry, just from the advice
Mhm.
and the feedback that I've gotten from individuals that have helped me along the way as well. So
Yeah, for sure. No, that's awesome. And what's that like, kind of being under someone and like a mentor, having that mentor, and then, like you said, prior stops, they're bringing you to that next stop as well. And obviously, you were under him for 12 years. But what's that like, creating that relationship and trust that they're able to be like, hey, I'm moving this way, you're coming with.
absolutely. You just gotta, that they have your interest at heart, and they want to help you, achieve your goals. Right? You
Yeah.
go, to whoever mentor it is, and to my aspect, it has been Dr. Ziggy Siegfried, as well as Coach Passner when I was at the University of Memphis, and they genuinely pour their knowledge into you, and they want to see you grow.
Mhm.
And then that's when you have connected with an individual that really cares, right, and wants to
Yeah.
see the future of college sports um, grow. It's been a blessing, and it has been just an absolute. I'm just been honored to be able to work for an amazing individual such as Dr. Ziggy Siegfried. So
Yeah, for sure. No, it's really cool to see that kind of connection that you built along the way, and it's cool to see that those connections last too, and at each stop, as you mentioned. But what was that? Was it that call? I would like to go into like what was the most pivotal moment of your career? Was it like that call saying you're coming with me, or what do you think was like along your career that most like pivotal spot that you're like, wow, that changed me, and that's gotten me to where I am today?
really, the most pivotal moment for in my career was um, really to have somebody believe in me, right?
Yeah.
Which is awesome. When somebody believes in you, it gives you the energy saying, you know what, I can actually do this, right? I can work, I can help make a difference in individuals' lives, and that's what's really driven me to do what I do. Granted, I bring in revenue via ticket sales, other revenue avenues, right? And I work with
Yeah.
our donors and our season ticket holders and so on and so forth. And that's what drives me too in terms of bringing that excitement, helped bring that excitement to them and their families that would allow them to create memories that would last a lifetime. And that's what really is the most pivotal moment in my career is when you see that come about, not only with our season ticket holders, but also with our student athletes and our coaches. And that's what really that and I've seen that in my whole growth by being in college and being in college sports, and that's what really continues to drive me every single day.
Yeah, you have that other people have that belief in you, and I think that's really important to have. Kind of going into the like you mentioned people saw it in you, like your external skills and stuff that you had have that connection with a donor or take a tour or something or invite them to open practice. Where did those skills come from? Where did those like people skills come from? And was that just growing up? Has it always been you,
Yeah,
or how did you get to the skills that you've?
it's crazy. It's always been with me. I've always been an extrovert, so I've always been able to talk to individuals no matter
Mhm.
what, and just to be able to have that pure connection with them, right?
Yeah.
And that's the most important thing with your season ticket holders or your donors or coaches is to be able to build those genuine relationships with those individuals, because when you do that, now you're talking amongst friends, and you can help move your department forward in many in in the trajectory in which you want it to go. So building those genuine relationships is really the most important thing. I've always had that skill, and that skill of talking to people, and that skill of building those genuine relationships, and customer service. Customer service is the most important thing. So
Yeah.
positive service.
Yeah, what would you say to? I'd like to first think of myself as the same way, external guy, love talking with our donors. And the best part about working at KU as a development intern was getting to be there on game days and supervising those hospitality rooms that we had at baseball or basketball or football games. And so just having that genuine connection with them and talking with them for, hey, 5-10 minutes during game days and might be a little slower in action or like a timeout or some sort. And you're just kind of having that conversation as you're watching the game. I think that's one of the best parts about the job in college sports.
Right, exactly. In those relationships in which you create, which they
Hmm.
will last for a lifetime, and those individuals will follow you throughout your career, right? And
Hmm.
just because of building that relationships that you had with a donor on the football field, or you had with a donor
Yeah.
on the sidelines or in the hospitality room, right? Because you guys both have a common goal or a common connection, which in your aspect is KU sports, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, what would you say to someone who maybe wants to do what you're doing, or wants to go down the path of, hey, I want to be an external guy, I want to talk to donors or fans alike, but they're more of an internal person, or they're maybe a little more quiet, and they need to be more outgoing. What would you say to them or what skills would you be like, hey, work on this, do this, or
Yeah, and
to kind of be that external light?
Yeah, and I've had that opportunity here. We have a lot of summer interns that come and work with myself specifically in the ticket office,
Yeah,
and there are some individuals that are like myself that are very external, and then there's some individuals that are more cerebral and more internal, right? And so you really want to tailor their strengths to what you think would work best for them, right? Obviously, what I would give advice to them would be just keep your head down, right? Do your job, uh, you know, live by the golden rule, which is to treat others the way that you want to be treated, and then all your goals and whatever you have, your aspirations really become into reality, right? And then also for any new individuals that want to get into college sports, you got to find your niche, right? Where do your skills tailor into any kind of subsidiary that there is in college sports? Is it ticket sales? Is it development? Is it events? Is it compliance? there's a bunch of different umbrellas that are for everyone, and you just need to figure out what you fit the best in, right?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Kind of mentioning the trenches and just kind of putting head down and grind. What was one moment or project or time where you were just doing something that it just was out of your comfort zone, maybe, or it was something that you didn't necessarily enjoy, but you knew it had to be done and had to get across that finish line? And how did you handle kind of the adversity through that? And how did you come out the other side?
Yeah, absolutely. There's, like I said, every single day, I'm learning, right? In order for myself to be a leader in for our coaches, also for our student athletes, and for our donors, for our season ticket holders. One of them is when we started to go digital for tickets, right? It wasn't the easiest thing by any means, but the more you communicate out on ways to do it, the ways that you're there for your season ticket holders to be able to be there at their if they have any help or need anything, always there for them is the most important thing, and shows that you care and shows that you want them to be at our games. And to, hey, look, changes and new things are different, and they're hard, but we are always here. I was always here for them, to be able to help them along the way, to make it easy for them, to make it where, they understand, where it's not a hurdle for them to have to open their tickets digitally to come to our games, right? And for it to be a hassle for them, but to have it be easy, just like if it was a regular ticket stock ticket, for them to come to the games and have a great time and create those memories with them.
I think that's been a huge transition into college sports. And being at KU, I was, yeah, front lines for those of maybe the older fan or donor that even, yeah, because we went fully digital as well. And so even they'd like somehow have a physical copy, and you're like, how did you even get this? It's like, we don't even know where that came from. Like, they somehow have a physical copy, but obviously that's a big transition, and that just goes with technology as well and where that's going. So, yeah, it was pretty funny to see kind of those moments and stuff like that. But yeah, definitely the digital transfer of ticketing as well. Because for us, you have to have and I'd assume like you guys, if you're going into like the hospitality room, you have to have a separate ticket as well as your game ticket. So I mean, it could be a lot, and there's a lot of downloading, and
Yeah.
definitely some frustrations involved in this kind of transition. But hopefully, it just comes out to be all right.
Absolutely, and like I said, the more communication you put out there to your donors and your season ticket holders, the better it is. The more that they
Yeah.
understand it, because that's when individuals get frustrated, is when they don't understand things. And so the
Yeah.
way that myself as the individual and customer service representative would be to make it easy for them, right? For them to understand, and for them to, not have to worry about how to download it, but they do download it, and they ended up coming to the games. And that's always the most important thing, is to be there for them every step of the way.
Yeah, for sure. That communication and being there for them is two vital roles and abilities you need to have, obviously. But kind of wanted to go back. You mentioned your leadership and how you are a leader as of right now, and you're still learning, obviously. But being that being that leader for that summer intern or someone in the ticketing office, kind of describe your leadership style and how that reflects off other people.
Yeah, absolutely. So my leadership style is working together to achieve a common goal, right? If that's with our coaches, if that's with our external staff, working together no matter what task it may be, to allow our fans, our season ticket holders, student athletes, to get the best experience possible. That's definitely the most important thing.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. Switching into kind of your career, and we'll just continue to go on through that. And at each stop, what was the most memorable event or project you put on? Obviously, being assistant AD of special projects at California State at Bakersfield. You obviously had to go through a lot of events, and just events in general in college sports are prominent, so they're always going to happen. But what was the most memorable one you've maybe done, or maybe successful, or at least successful?
Yeah, I mean, the most memorable event that I've been a part of in my career specifically, was when, back in 2024, the spring of 24, is when our baseball team specifically went to the super regionals in baseball, and it was just an absolute amazing experience to be a part of. We hosted the NBC championship here on campus. The opportunity for our fans to come on out and to have a sense of community, to rally around a team to help us win that championship on our home turf was in our own stadium was amazing. And then that trajectory took us all the way to Greenville, North Carolina, which helped us win our first ever regional as a program in school history, and then allowed us to also take one game from what was the best baseball team in the country at the University of Tennessee, right? And then the year after, or the fall of that, our men's soccer program also made the NCAA tournament as well, which was so those back to back was just the most memorable experiences for me. And just seeing those student athletes' faces when they won, and the parents cheering and the fans cheering, and just, like I said, a community that's surrounded that came together to be able to create a memory that would last a lifetime is just awesome.
Yeah, yeah. I can't attest to men's soccer because KU doesn't have that, but baseball for sure. I mean, we had one of our most successful seasons this past year. So seeing the fans come out and seeing sold out almost every game, which was very rare for KU baseball, as they weren't the best throughout the last couple years, this past decade. But seeing that success that they had this year, yeah, there's nothing like people going to the ballpark, and you can just feel that energy when you're there, and something special, definitely something special about college baseball.
Yeah, absolutely. And just college sports in general, right? Bringing a community together to be able to rally around one thing, which is awesome. And then seeing
Yeah.
the excitement not only on your student athletes' faces, but the coaches' faces and the fans' faces, that lasts forever. Right? They'll be
Yeah.
able to tell those stories to their kids and then their grandkids and so on and so forth. So
Yeah. Yeah. Huge success going into your career personally. Huge success in every stop that you've had. Record high. I'm just looking at my notes. Record high in revenue streams at pretty much every stop that you've had. And throughout the years, it's kind of college has been kind of transforming and going into this new landscape of NIL and rev sharing and all that. What has been the biggest surprise you've kind of faced and learned throughout these last couple years, and maybe whether that's ticketing or donors donating?
I would say more of a challenge. A challenge and it brings always new opportunities, right? And so what opportunities are in this new landscape, I think, is to come up with new creative ideas that you can, especially in a revenue generation standpoint, is to be able to come up with new creative ideas that your fans will be able to latch onto, that you can bring in, just different revenue streams throughout different aspects of the day-to-day business, and while supporting UE athletics, right? So that's definitely, I wouldn't say a challenge, but more opportunities, which is awesome,
Yeah.
right? And working with our assistant AD for marketing and fan engagement, Michael Robertson, as well as our external staff, to be able to execute that, right, in the best way
Yeah.
possible, and in return to be able to keep on breaking revenue records and being able to give our student athletes the best experience possible here on campus.
Yeah. The name of the game and the goal is to please those student athletes and please your fans and donors alike. So it's really cool. I saw that you have a kind of a raffle going on, but what special projects you guys got going and to kind of help your department?
Absolutely. That was the one I was going to bring up, actually, was
Yeah.
our new 50/50 raffle that we just announced, and we launched it July 1st. We already have a jackpot of about $5,000 that's going to be drawn. That's going to be drawn here at the end of August. We're going to be doing this raffle periodically throughout the whole athletic year, and it just gives an opportunity for our fans to be engaged, right? And then also come up with that new revenue stream, which is a great thing, right?
Definitely unique. You don't really hear a lot of raffles or anything of that nature in college sports. Maybe you'll be setting a path or setting a trail for that. But anything else you guys got and planned this collegiate season?
Always just not right now specifically, but really just continue to sell tickets at a high level. If that's group, if that's gate, bringing fans out, again, working with our external team to be able to do that, come up with some creative ideas, and be able to get the fans engaged and be able to come out and enjoy a great event with us on campus, or if it's downtown at the Ford Center for our men's basketball team.
We talked about obviously growth and like finding new ways for revenue and just to kind of keep that engagement. Where do you guys see your biggest growth within the next year or a couple years at UE in general in terms of like we mentioned revenue growth or just new alleys, new ways to get that money to come in? But what are the biggest opportunities and biggest growth you can see in the next couple years?
Definitely that for sure. Definitely just different opportunities and different ways to bring in revenue, right? And which supports all of our student athletes and supports all of our all of our student athletes here within the athletic department to be able to give them the best experience possible, because that's the most important thing, right?
Yeah.
So come up with creative ways to be able to do that is going to be definitely the biggest opportunity for us.
Yeah. This has been awesome, Logan. I'll kind of just round it out with more personal stuff, but I appreciate you taking the time, and this has been really cool, and just seeing the eyes of college athletics through different people throughout this process of mine has just been awesome, and it's just another avenue, another door, another talk that I've just enjoyed immensely, and it's just cool to see different ways and different lights to come on in college sports. Where do you see yourself? Mentioned a little bit you want to be that athletic director. Where do you see yourself in 5-10 years, and do you hope to achieve that athletic director role?
Yeah, absolutely. My like I said, my passion and goal is to be an athletic director for a Division I program, like a low mid major Division I program, or a really good D2 D3 program. And really just, like I said, I'm blessed and humbled to be able to work with an amazing mentor that I have, which is Dr. Ziggy Siegfried, and he's teaching me what it takes to be an athletic director every single day. I can't thank him enough for all the love and the information that he pours into me every single day to be able to do that.
Yeah. It's great to have your mentor be someone you want to be. So that's
Exactly.
really cool.
Right.
That's awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
why not go to the source,
Right, exactly. And that's what I encourage everybody else to do, is to, be able to build those genuine relationships with individuals that you trust, right? And then, try to soak up as much knowledge as you can, right? And then once you're able to sit in that chair, or once you're able to do, achieve that goal, I know individuals be able to, make them proud in everything that you do, right? So that's basically my goal, is once I'm able to sit into that chair, is to my hope is that I make him proud, as well as others that have taken their time into pouring knowledge into me, and be able to share that with other individuals that are coming up as well.
That's really awesome. Talked a lot about relationships and building those relationships, and must need in college sports. But personally for you, what other extra steps have you taken or are taking to ensure your goals are met within your career?
Yeah.
Whether that's just the little things, or kind of going outside your comfort zone, or not just about connections, but other stuff as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just like, continuously growing, right? Like continuously learning. Learning is the most important thing. Reading about different things that are happening. That's a great avenue of mine, is to read about, different leadership styles, or different leader what works for other leaders in the not only in the industry, but just in other businesses, right? And myself, I like to listen to podcasts and books, right?
Welcome
Yeah.
to your own.
Yeah, exactly. And so I like that. I like to hear what other people are saying, and I sort of take that information, and then I sort of tailor that towards my leadership and ways that I lead.
Yeah, I think that's very transformative of the times now. I think reading's kind of a lost art nowadays sometimes, when people would rather listen or just watch it. But I think reading, like you mentioned, is very key, and I try to stay on that as well. Read and soak up as much information as I can. But I mean, podcasts are just so much fun too.
Oh, 100%.
Just this morning, I was listening to Joel Klatt just talk about the college football season coming up. And, it got me fired up for week 1. That's coming up here soon, which is just right around the corner. I think 2 weeks from now. I think.
Yeah, I think it's not this Saturday, but the next Saturday we have college football back, which is exciting stuff. So
yeah, week 0, and I think Ireland, which I think it's the Farmageddon. It's Iowa State and Kansas State. So
Yeah, right, exactly.
that'll be must watch for sure. And I'm just pumped for it to be back, pumped for NFL to be back as well. But
Yeah, yeah.
rounding it out, this is my favorite question to ask kind of towards the end. You've given great advice, and obviously this will kind of, like I mentioned, round it out and kind of overshadow everything. But what advice would you give to that 22-year-old or 21-year-old still in college and looking to grind in college sports?
Yeah, I just like I said beforehand, just keep your head down, do your job in which you're um, you know, in what you're interested in doing. Always be a sponge. Soak up as much knowledge as you can. And, like I said, the golden rule, treat others the way that you want to be treated, and that's going to get you significantly a long way, right?
Yeah.
And, have informational interviews with other professionals in the industry. Reach out, figure out what drives you, right? Figure out what you would be really really good at, right? If that's, like I said, if that's talking with people, if that's learning about rules like compliance, if that's setting things up, tearing things down, if that's events, and see how that aligns with different avenues within college sports.
Hmm.
Don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's the most important thing, right? Don't be afraid to make mistakes. People make mistakes every day, and that is just a way to learn and a way to process and grow.
Yeah, that's just great advice. And I even kind of going into this role of like post grad job, first one out, ticketing for KU, which I start up in a couple weeks. I'm now in that position where others are coming to me, which I never thought that would happen, but being like, how did you get there? How did you get to that spot? And although it's just the first year out graduation, although it's just a first year out, they're coming to me maybe for that advice and what you're giving, and it's just cool to see like, hey, how I got my job was I just planned a coffee date with the director of sales, but I just had a coffee with him downtown in Kansas City, which is 40 minutes away from Lawrence, Kansas, and
Mhm.
I just wanted to absorb, and I just wanted to be that sponge and ask these questions that I'm asking now. And I should have had the record button on. I wish I did that, and I could have gotten that information. But his name's Eric Luna. His name's Eric Luna at Legends, which is our ticketing processing. So I sat down with him and I was just like, I just want 30 minutes of your time to just go over how you got to where you are and your career and what advice you would give to someone like me. And he thanked me for that, and I thanked him, obviously. And the next day he was like, hey, this position's open, go get it. So it was awesome. It was cool. I didn't even know it was an open position when I had to sit down with him. But just having that step of I went out and I reached out to him to have that conversation was the most important thing that I've taken in this
Yeah.
process of mine so far in my career.
Yeah, and some people that's the most scary part, right? Is to reach
Yeah.
out to them and to, hey, just shoot them a note or shoot them an email and say, hey, what can I do to just sit down with you, like you said, for 20 minutes, 30 minutes of your time, and to see how you got there, and then tailor that towards what your job, or like what your aspirations are and what your dreams are,
Mhm.
right? Because anybody can achieve any of their dreams as long as they really put in the work and try and you know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
the important thing,
That's the
because
goal.
everyone wants to see everybody succeed in what they want to do, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I mean, even the selfish people want to see other people succeed. And in this career and in this department, it's really easy to root for other people and root to see them go on for bigger and better things. And obviously, that's what I'm hoping that you do as well. And I just wanted to thank you so much for this, and a lot of great advice and a lot of notes I've taken just for myself. And obviously, we'll be posting this. But Logan, I wanted to thank you so much. This was awesome. As someone that's kind of in the footsteps of what I want to do and what I want to be and go back to that development side and Rev Gen it's great to hear from a first source, and it's great to see that you're absorbing information from someone, and I'm absorbing information from you. So it's good to see that ladder. But thank you so much. I appreciated this time.
yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for your time, Ryan, and appreciate it.
Yeah.
If there's anything that you need, always feel free to reach out to me. Okay, so I'm
Yeah.
always here as an asset for you. I think you're doing a
Yeah.
great job, and keep it up and what you're doing, and good luck at your time at KU, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate it so much, Logan, and good luck with the rest of your endeavors. And I'll be sure to reach out and stay close to you. Thank you,
All
Logan.
right.
I appreciate it. I'm gonna stop this because it needs to like stop for a couple seconds, and then you can leave. But
Yeah.
thank you so much. This was awesome.
Yeah, no worries, Ryan. Appreciate